Hello there, my name is Claire. Welcome back to my channel. For this week's video, I'm going to be doing a home only using the Horse Ranch expansion pack and the Laundry Day stuff pack. So we are going to be starting off in the front porch area, and the reason why I wanted to do a ranch home is because I just haven't done one in a while and I thought it would be fun to do for this week's video. This honestly wasn't my first idea for this video. I wanted to do like row homes or like a townhouse neighborhood, but I couldn't really figure it out. I think the problem was the size of lot I was using. So we are going to be just adding a light onto the porch. I want to make this like front area covered from the elements, even though seasons isn't really applicable if you don't have seasons, and I'm not using seasons in this build. I still wanted to like give it that kind of like real life feel with like having a covered patio in the front. There is a large patio area in the back, which we'll get to, and I'll show you what I put out there. But first, we're just going to kind of mirror imaging the other side of the porch. This is designed for a family of four with parents and children. It is a two-bedroom, two-bath home, and if you want to know any other details, the information will be down in the description. Any details I forgot, I feel like I said all the ones that are mostly important, besides the size of lot that I currently do not remember. So we are going to be adding some plants, trying to make this space feel like it's a nice spot to just like sit out in the evenings and like read a book. And so we are just going to be placing some books and going to be placing some like plants and like little lights. But first, we're just going to be going inside. I couldn't like think of what else to add to this space, and so I'm like, you know what? Let's just kind of like go and find some items for the interior. So we can see we're starting off with the front of the house, kind of like the entryway area. And so we're just going to be adding a chair, just kind of make it feel lived in. Reason why I added a chair to the front entryways because I always appreciate having something to sit on while I like tie my shoes instead of like having to like awkwardly squat or like put my foot that has a shoe on it on like a wall or something. And so it's always like my thought process that I just kind of like bring some real life into The Sims. So we are just going to be adding a little desk space. I wanted it to be in like this open area just because I wanted this like other like perfectly good room to be a laundry room, mudroom area instead of an office. If you don't want to play with Laundryday, you can easily get rid of all of those items and make that area into a office. But I was mentioning that this family would be on their horse a lot of riding, getting dirty and stuff, and so wanted to have a separate area for laundry, not to make like the laundry feel like an afterthought. And so we are now in the kitchen area, and I was kind of mentioning that this house would have gotten like a kitchen upgrade, like you would see in the TLC shows. They usually like just upgrade the kitchen, and while they're at it, they tear down all of the walls. And I was imagining for this house in particular, I didn't really have enough money to like redo like the wallpaper or the wall details, and so just kind of like sanded it down and like got it to like not be like a dark, intense wood. And I'm just realizing now that this tile and this like wood detail go pretty well together for this house. So we are just going to be adding some blue counters, and I wanted the blue counters to kind of go with the windows and the doors, and I feel like this is a very trendy color blue, and I just said I was imagining at this home when I've gotten like an upgrade in the kitchen, so it's kind of like it helped with that like story line element, and so we are just going to be adding a security system because that is a new feature that your Sims may get robbed during the middle of the night. So I wanted to make sure that didn't happen, and there you go. So you got nice and safe house for your Sims. I did put it by the bedroom door because I feel like that just kind of like makes sense in a way to like set the code before The Sims go to bed or something. I honestly haven't played with burglars myself, but I kind of hoping to. I also don't really play with Sims in the game. I mostly just stick to building. But if you want to see me do a like challenge of some sort, like a legacy challenge or like the 100 baby challenge, last week I not last week, 2 weeks ago, I did a 100 baby challenge house. So if you are interested in that, you can go check that video out. But if you want to see me do some sort of challenge, leave a comment down below just to let me know. And if you have any build suggestions for me, you can also leave a comment down below. I'm up for building anything. It really does help sometimes to get a little nudge of like a career to design for or an hobby for a sim to design for. So we are just making a little sitting area in the living room using this new picture frame TV that came with the holiday like expansion pack, not expansion pack, the holiday like game pack. Like you had to do a bunch of cooking and then you would get items like this picture frame TV. I'm pretty sure the rug on the front door is also from that like battle pass. And so we are just gonna be making a little play area for the kids, and there's not really much like a play area anywhere else, and so I'm like, well, this looks kind of empty. I should add a playhouse, and I feel like that area looks pretty good. And now we're just gonna be adding some dining room chairs. I wanted to make sure that this is like a nice like family spot for the Sims extended family to gather around, see all the new upgrades they made to their house. And I do change that rug to be one from Laundryday. This was just kind of like a filler for the item until like I found like the perfect rug. There are a few good circle rugs in the Laundryday pack, especially if you want to go for the boho style. And so we are going to be adding rugs before we go into the laundry room. I really do like the patterns on the rugs. They do seem like rustic and like they could they seem very western, and so we are going to be adding a lot of items from the Laundry Day pack in this room. This pack to me, it's kind of like the kits that they've come out with. It's just like kind of like one very specific interest, like Castle Estate or the new art kit or the new like gamer like office kit. Like I feel like that is kind of the same energy to me. Like it's just laundry items for this kit, or not, this isn't a kit, this is a pack, and it's also on the cheaper end. It is kind of annoying to do laundry in the game, and that's why I try to add laundry baskets throughout the house, but I was trying to go for more realism in this house rather than functionality. And I know functionality in The Sims is different than functionality in real life, but we are just going to be adding a few more details in this laundry room. Honestly, this is a fun room for me to design. I had fun kind of like rediscovering all of these items, and I wanted this kitchen, not kitchen, this laundry room to feel very used and lived in. Like I said earlier, I was kind of imagining that this family would be on the horse a lot, and so this area would be very much used, and so we are just going to be adding a little bench kind of for the same reason as the entrance to the house. Is just kind of like take your shoes off and then put all your dirty clothes in the laundry. And so we are going to be adding some laundry detergent. I wanted this area to feel a little cluttered with the design elements I put into this room. And now we are in the backyard. I quickly just wanted to do this area. We do come back later in the video to like actually do the yard, but when I was filtering through the Laundryday pack, I'm like, oh, this is like I forgot it came with a table, and like I kind of remember those chairs, and I should like add those areas out, those items into this backyard area, and so we do have a lot of planter boxes for your Sims to practice their gardening skills or maybe live off the land a little bit. And now we are just going to be adding some like outdoor seating area. So there's like a dining room table. I'm not sure if all of those chairs will be functional, but at least three of them are functional. And now we're just going to be making a little like seating area, conversation area. I feel like this is just kind of like a fun little spot to like hang out with like the Sims friends, and so we are going to be adding a rug just to kind of help make this area feel more intentional and kind of more like a gathering spot. And now we are just going to be finishing up this backyard area with a counter. I always kind of get annoyed when like the Sims like go across the house to like set down their grilled food, and so that's why I put a countertop outside, and it looks like it could endure like outside weather. So we are just going to be adding some pictures because that's something I forgot to do earlier when I was designing the living room, and that's just kind of because there's a lot of windows in the living room. So now we are in the kids' bedroom. I was originally just going to have one child in this bedroom, but when I was designing the space, I was like, oh, there's plenty of space for two beds to go in this space. And I knew I wanted to use this cool, like, horse bed because they do have a horse in their backyard, and I knew I wanted to have like a desk space, so using this lofted bed just kind of made sense. I do change the color of the desk so those two greens do not clash, and it looks a lot better just to like not have those two greens clash, and I feel like it makes it just look prettier. So we are going to be adding some curtains and going to be adding just a few more like kid items in this space, and I knew I needed to have a dresser, and so I'm using this like vertical one, and since there are two beds I decided to put two desks with matching chairs to just kind of make it cohesive. And now we're just going to be decorating this space, and I do try to add a bunny into every build I do, and so that pink bunny is the bunny for this video. So now we are just going to be adding another dresser, but I was imagining that would be kind of more like toy storage, or is like an actual like toy chest in the living room. I was just mentioning that this one would be for more, I guess, bedtime toys. I don't really know if that's like a thing, just kind of more like quiet toys to play with before the Sims go to bed. It can obviously be what it's intended for, which is a dresser. I was just kind of thinking of more like gameplay, storytelling wise, I guess. So we are going to be adding some curtains, and I wanted them to like not be like how they're supposed to. Like I wanted the curtains to not like like clash with the bed, so that's why I kind of put them backwards, is so that it's like easy for the parents to like sneak in there and like close the blinds, not have to like lean over the child, even though that doesn't matter in The Sims. Like your Sims can't actually close the blinds, but I feel like that would be a cool gameplay feature to add, is like blinds that go up and down. And so we are going to be finishing up this room. Just going to be adding some lamps and some just desk items into this space, and wanted to make sure there was a laundry room, or not laundry room, a laundry basket for this room, so your Sims don't have piles of laundry building up whenever they change into their pajamas. And now we are working on the hall bath that the children would be using to shower and bathe. So now we are just going to be finishing up this bathroom. It's a very, very simple bathroom. I wanted to give a little bit of privacy between the shower and the sink, so I do have like another barrier or another like wall to separate this area, and wanted to like make sure that it looks like this house had a lot of storage, and so I'm using this mirror that could also be like a medicine cabinet. And so we are just going to be adding some towels into this space and going to be adding some tile by the shower. I really do like how this bathroom turned out. It is very simple, but I feel like very it's a different design of like item placement I did, I guess. So we are going to be in the primary bedroom now. Just going to first be kind of figuring out which wall I wanted the bed to go on. And that was like kind of hard because like I was envisioning at the very beginning, like the bed would go on this wall, and then the TV and like artwork can like go on to the wall without windows, but I do end up switching that, as you can see, and trying to figure out a place for the dresser. And I realized that this room was just a little too big, a little overwhelming, trying to like find items to put in every corner. And so I decided to shrink the room just by one tile, but it does give this room the cozy feel of like an older home that I was trying to go for. So we are just going to be adding a little like bench at the end of the bed. There is like enough space. I feel like it made sense to have like just like something at the bottom of the bed, and I still wanted to have a TV in the space. So even though your Sims can now lounge and watch TV in bed, I was like thinking of maybe like your Sims aren't close enough for some reason and they want to be right in the game or the TV show, so you need to sit as like close to the TV as possible. Or maybe it's just like a little like conversation area, like if one of the parents needs to talk to the kids in private, it just kind of has an area for them to have a conversation. So we are just going to be adding that TV and going to be adding some curtains. I wanted it to be cohesive with the kids' room, so I'm using the same curtains just in a different color tone. And now we are in the primary bathroom, which is a pretty simple space. I do have the toilet in its separate area because that just kind of makes sense to me to have the toilet in a different area, especially in a primary room, and it just kind of worked well. Like, it is a large bathroom, so making like a separate area for the toilet just kind of made sense, I guess. So I've been rambling on a little too long about that. So we're just going to be adding the dresser back into the bedroom because when I did a little renovation on the walls, it disappeared, and now we are going to be adding a fireplace. If you saw quickly at the beginning, there are two chimneys in the house, and so I'm like, okay, I at least need one fireplace in the house, and you can see I did add a stove by the refrigerator, and then when I was editing this video, I'm like, what? Putting a stove that's supposed to be very, very hot next to a refrigerator that's supposed to keep things really cold doesn't make any sense. So I ended up getting rid of the oven stove uh, piece by the refrigerator, and you can see I just put a TV by the fireplace, and I did a little trick that I've learned from watching other people on this playing this game, is to delete the wall and then get the item to place where you want it. So we are just going to be adding a little fire pit spot by the front door and going to be working on the horse stable and the tack room. Before I get any further with this like tack room area, I should probably mention that when I was younger, I tried to be a horse girl, but then I realized I'm allergic to horses, so I'm not exactly sure like all of the proper elements to put in a tack room or like a horse stable area. So I did try my best with this space. I just kind of put items that I'm like, you know what, that could make sense to put extra clothes in the tack room, or it could make sense to put the saddle in the tack room. So we are getting close to the end of the video. Thank you so much to those who are subscribed. I am trying to grow this little channel and every subscriber counts, so please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!